Hi, I'm Lara Waldman, also known as the Abundance Activator, and today I'm going to share how to overcome burnout and exhaustion. I experienced burnout for the first time when I was 17 years old, and I have experienced burnout and exhaustion many times since. I have learned the hard way how to gather the gold from these challenging situations. I used to love pushing hard, working hard, very visionary, very driven, with a great drive, lots of excitement, passion, and enthusiasm, which is wonderful. But I found when I run for too long on that energy, I start to get exhausted and burnt out. And there can be a very big and painful crash that comes after that. And this can be a real come down after a burst of lots of energy or excitement or creativity, to then be absolutely floored and unable to move forward. So I learned early on, my late teens and my early 20s, how to pay attention to these signs and symptoms of exhaustion to avoid full-blown burnout. So I've learned to pay attention to the signs and symptoms and not let myself get too far down that path to total burnout. I worked as a healer throughout my 20s and worked with other people's bodies, their minds, their emotions, and started to understand the deeper, richer wisdom that was going on inside any surface level problem or symptom. So I learned to pay attention to the signs and the symptoms, but not get stuck there, to go deeper. I found that there is always deeper levels of information underneath the surface symptoms that's showing up either in our physical body, emotionally, or mentally, or in other life circumstances. It's one of my gifts to tap into the soul's wisdom, or the deeper levels of information that's going on with any problem or challenge. This is where my energy detective gets activated. I start going through all the different levels and layers of pains, problems, and challenges to try and understand what is going on. And there's different levels of that pain, problem, or challenge depending on which level you're looking at it. It's important to pay attention to the surface level physical symptoms, of course, but you don't have to stop there. There are deeper levels of wisdom, of information, gold ready and waiting for you to go mining for it. And this is where a whole wealthy world can open up to you. That is absolutely beautiful, and that is here to help you, to grow you and evolve you. Trust me, when I hit a challenge like exhaustion or burnout, I'm not feeling thrilled about it, and I will have natural resistance or frustration, but I have learned to pay attention. So one of the first things I do, and I guide my clients to do, is to create space to listen. You want to switch off all noise and distraction and start a conversation with your body. Your body is trying to communicate to you. It's got information for you. So you can do this through meditation or journaling. I like to create a quiet space where I won't be interrupted, and I start journaling or meditating or a bit of both, and asking my body questions. What's going on? What do you need? And what I found usually in there is there's an unheld or unsupported aspect of myself, and another part of myself that's going into overdrive, maybe getting overexcited or putting too much pressure on my body. And there'll be another part of me that's not held and not supported, and it starts to show up this weakness in the infrastructure. There's something that's required, and it's usually rest. But what I found is taking rest to restore and to recover is actually going into a deeper aspect of the self, where we're starting to tap and unlock a wealth of information, a wealth of wisdom, and a wealth of power that's deeper than that maybe overworking or hustling or driven aspect of the self can access. So you need to slow down to speed up, to drop into what I like to call the wealth cave, the deep, quiet spaces and places within. And you access those deep wise spaces filled with gold and wealth by feeling your feelings. So there'll usually be different levels and layers of feelings that you haven't wanted to feel. Could be anxiety, stress, overwhelm. It could be anger, resentment, frustration. It could be sadness, loneliness, despair. And we start going deeper and deeper through the levels and the layers of emotions. And when you can hold a safe space for yourself to feel, I call it the fortune in your feelings, it starts dropping you deeper and deeper, deeper into the body. Now, our body can hold a lot. So by holding space for you to feel, you're also creating space to release the buildup of stress, release the buildup of tension, release unprocessed or undigested information. We are overloaded with information. We are overloaded with stress. And it's essential that you create this space so your body can release. It will naturally release if you give yourself space and time. And that's one of the benefits of rest. So as you stop, as you create space to journal, to meditate, to connect to your body, to feel the feelings and allow yourself to release and let go of the undigested information, undigested emotions, undigested experiences, your body will start releasing and processing, and this will create more space. From here, there's another level of wisdom. There's another level of information, and we start to tap into creative power. So underneath all those emotions that you don't want to feel, that you're running around in circles trying to avoid, underneath that, there is power. There is creation. There are ideas. And what I found is through exhaustion or burnout, the body is trying to tell you to stop because there's another level ready and waiting for you. The challenge is that level can feel like the death process. I call it grieving into gold, where we need to let go to let in. And there's a very natural, normal human response to want to avoid that and not feel that and not create space for that, that it keeps us overworking. There's not enough time, hustle, 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 go, 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 never enough time, never enough space. But if you can consciously create time and space to go within and go through all those levels and layers of deep listening, of releasing, you'll start to tap into a wealth of information, creation, power that is taking you into the next level. It's almost like going down a few floors within yourself. You're going into deeper levels of embodiment, connecting to your body. You're actually going into new levels of being yourself in the world. I call this grieving into gold. Soulful surrender. We have to drop in, and then you open up a whole new space for receiving. The challenge of this is that it doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't feel good to be exhausted. It doesn't feel good to be burnt out. It doesn't feel good to feel all those feelings or to process all of those experiences that you haven't processed yet, but it's essential to clear the decks, to release, release, release. So learning to hold yourself through that transition is everything. And then starting to tap into a new wealth of information, that power, that creation, that consciousness that is taking you home to a new level of being. It's your soul, it's your heart, it's your body's wisdom, and it's the earth's wisdom calling you home, grounding you into gold. And then once you've dropped in and surrendered and landed into this new space and place, new doors open to your next level. A whole new level ready and waiting for you. And the next step is to open up to receive this next level that's ready and waiting for you. But again, the challenge here, opening up to receive, is opening up to the unknown. And that can also be quite scary. So it's very normal to want to just go back into your old ways of doing things and go back into your old habits and go back into your old behaviors. Holding yourself into this space of receiving into the unknown or receiving into the new is incredibly powerful. And I call this creating in the void, because there's a place where you're in between. You're in between the old world and the new world. And this feels uncomfortable usually. So holding yourself in that void space of the in-between as you start to land ground and acclimatize to this new level. And this is part of the manifestation process. So we started this conversation talking about exhaustion and burnout and how to overcome it. And we've talked about creating space for deep listening to your body through meditation, journaling. We've talked about creating space to feel the feelings, to process all that information, that build up, that overload of information. Our bodies can only take so much. And that usually means feeling, the fortune in your feeling, grieving into gold. So you can ground into gold, taking you down a few levels, a few layers into deeper levels of your body, into deeper levels of connection with your body and the earth and your soul. And from there, as you hold yourself, hold that safe space, the void space of the in-between, we start opening up new doors to new levels, opening up to receive. And usually what your heart, body, and soul long for and desire is there, ready and waiting for you. And your next level is to hold yourself in the uncomfortable process of the unknown as you acclimatize, as you adjust, as you get used to this new level and this new layer. So this is what I have found time and time again. Every time I'm getting exhausted or on the edge of burnout, I know it's a sign, it's a symptom to pay attention. It's my soul and my body knocking at my door, trying to get my attention. I've learned to create space to rest into riches, because I know there's new levels of receiving ready and waiting for me. It's not comfortable, and it's really important to be held through this process. So if you want any help with this, if you're currently going through a challenge, an obstacle, a setback, something is presenting difficulty for you, either through your body or your business or your finances, it is my superpower to help you find the gold within this pain, the gift that is ready and waiting for you on the other side of this problem. So I recommend to reach out. You can apply for a free one-to-one conversation with me. It's my Money Mastery Breakthrough session. We can have a conversation. I can support you with what is going on. Or you can tap into any of my free events coming up, my masterclass or my online wealth retreat. There are lots of resources for you to support you with what you're going through. You don't need to do it alone. And it would be a great honor and pleasure to support you. So I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you for joining today's conversation, how to overcome burnout and exhaustion. I'd love to know what you received from today's conversation. Please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel to never miss an episode. I post every week on a Wealthy Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.